Uber is up to their dirty, cowardly tricks again, outright stealing money back from drivers this time. Found this article on Vice by Roshan Abraham. Headline: Screwed, Uber claws back double pay from drivers after April Fool's glitch. So Uber paid drivers and then took the money back. One driver delivered through a blizzard, only to get screwed out of what I thought was extra base pay for hazardous conditions, they said. That's what Uber used to lure you out onto the road during said hazardous conditions. I guarantee you, welcome to being employed by Mr. Dara Suck and Blow Me's company, where he looks to screw you over every step of the way, every chance he can, so he can keep raising his CEO salary millions and millions of dollars. On April 1st, some Uber Eats drivers received a message that at first glance could have seemed like an April Fool's Day prank. Rates were already paid for their rides the previous day, were too high, the company said, and the difference was being subtracted from their account. One driver posted a screenshot of Uber's message to Reddit. It reads, "An incorrect overpayment was made to your account. Due to a technical error, you received duplicate earnings for certain trips between March 31st and April 2nd. The message then states that Uber would be subtracting $75.86 from the driver's account to correct the erroneous overpayment. Mr. Dara and Uber, the only erroneous thing in this article is you outright stealing money back from the drivers that keep your service available. You are a pathetic individual, Mr. Dara. You are a pathetic business person. You lie to get people out on the road, and then you steal money back from them. You are not transparent about anything. You use the customer tip to lower the driver's pay, to lower the driver's fare, to lower Uber's portion of the pay. And now you're outright stealing money back from a driver, $75.86. Another person posted a screenshot of a $94.39 subtraction from their account and suggested affected drivers strike the next day. Sure, the affected drivers can strike, and Uber will find other drivers to replace them. Uber will recruit more drivers to screw over by offering them some little bonuses to get them out on the road. Probably start them off with a little bit higher fares and then proceed to lower and lower and lower and lower. Uber is the only company I've ever worked with that lowers your pay as time goes on. Everything gets more expensive and Uber will lower your pay. So if you're a new driver to the Uber platform, just know that today is the day that you are making the most amount possible. Uber will continue to screw your profits over. You might be putting money in your bank account, but you're going to be really destroying your car to do it. And Uber does not pay for any repairs or any gas for your car. In none of the shared screenshots does Uber clarify the nature of the error or itemize which rides had erroneous rates. So Uber knows for sure that they overpaid, but they can't show you how they overpaid. And the reason they can't do that is because they didn't get their attorneys to cook up the books yet. Because once they get it cooked up, then they're going to be emailing it to the drivers and saying, now it's itemized. But they didn't get their fancy pants attorneys to cook the books yet for you. So you got to wait. All they know is they overpaid. Unreal. This is a bunch of horse crap. They know, if they know they overpaid, they should be able to come up with an itemized listing of it, some kind of a detailed explanation of it right away. Shouldn't have to take any money. You can take the money back real quick. You take the money back right away. Uber told Motherboard that everyone who was offered a rate was paid that rate, and the clawbacks are only in response to overpayments. Based on my experience with Uber, that's a lie. Uber lies about this. They've told me that they've paid me the rate that they've said, which they don't come out and tell you what the rate's going to be. It's case by case. They never come out and say you're going to make $4 per trip. I wish they would. I wish I had some kind of a basement here, because every time you call, every person you talk to from Uber will tell you a different story. Every one of them. It's pathetic. In a statement to Motherboard, Uber said for several hours on March 31st, Uber experienced a technical issue that resulted in carriers being paid double the fare shown for each trip. In all cases, carriers were paid the full amount they were shown before accepting a trip. We apologize for the error and are working to prevent this from happening again. I can speak from experience that I have not always been paid what Uber's told me they were going to pay me. When these kind of shenanigans come up, they're lying. I guarantee you, before the driver accepted that, they thought they were going to be making more. Because I've been there personally. This is terrible. Uber does this all the time. If it didn't happen to you yet, don't worry, other Uber drivers. The screw job is coming. And Dara, don't use any Vaseline, so it's going to hurt. Drivers don't seem to be clear which payments were supposedly erroneous because the messages they received were nearly identical. Drivers also reported having different experience with Uber's customer support, with some being told the deduction was an error that would be fixed and others being told they weren't getting their money back. I mean, at least the people that came and said you weren't getting your money back, they probably were being honest. One driver said the conversation with customer service went nowhere, just got off the phone with the support, and the guy told me that it was not an error and he said Uber was having problems paying people a higher base fare, so they took that money back, the driver wrote. He said, sorry, unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done. Another driver said they were able to get their money back. They gave me mine back on the first call. Also depends on the amount they took, though. Every time you call, you'll talk to someone different, so it's worth keep trying to drive a road. I mean, maybe there are cases where if you did get the right person, maybe they did give you your money back. I mean, I'm not going to call this driver a liar, but most of the time when there's errors like this, the only kind of an amount I've gotten adjusted is like a $2 or $3 they'll give you as a courtesy for whatever inconvenience it is. But I've never gotten a substantial amount of money back through talking to Uber's customer service. Though, for the record, I will say I've never had Uber take money back out of my account after I've been paid. This article is kind of shocking. A Texas-based driver named Jamie, who said they worked for Uber Eats for 8 years, told Motherboard over email that the app was glitching on March 31st, only telling her the distance of the restaurant, not the name. He all called Uber support. They said it was fixed, the driver told Motherboard, but after the glitch was fixed, their base pay was higher than normal. So there you go. They were told it was fixed. They get back out on the road. They're thinking it's face value, what I'm going to be getting paid these amounts, and it was a lie. All in Uber's favor, as you'll notice, conveniently. We all worked and took the orders. We probably would not have taken if it wasn't for the high pay, Jamie said. Uber deducted $44 from her account. Exactly. They use the higher amount to scam you onto the road. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, don't worry, it will. And when it does, don't worry. Uber won't give a shit about you, just like they don't give a shit about 99% of the drivers that are sharing their stories so far. One driver said they were able to get their money back. The other drivers are all upset that money is taken from their account. There's another driver named Jacqueline who requested her last name not be used. Fear retaliation. She said her pay on March 31st came out to $168.72, which factors in base fare and tips. She got a message about the error on April 1st and $53.16 was subtracted from her account. So, I mean, a third of her money almost was taken from her account. A third of the low pay, the already too low pay Dara, is taken. You can't throw your drivers a bone. You can't give them a little bit of a bonus, but you can give yourself millions in raises. You are absolutely disgusting, Mr. Suck and Blow Me. Well, she says it's possible that Uber accidentally overpaid her base fare. She says the problem is Uber's emails provide no transparency or accountability. Sometimes final pay can be larger than expected of tips. Yeah, that's how Uber is. They like to say they're transparent and ding, ding, ding. They're not. They're stealing back money from the drivers, just like they're stealing money from the restaurant partners. They're stealing money from the riders. They're sucking the value out of your car. Also, Mr. Dara can overinflate his own salary. If you enjoy videos like this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the World According to Matt to put a stop, and if not put a stop, to at least make people aware of these Uber shenanigans. Thank you for watching and have a great evening.